One way to learn from a story is to listen to it, or see it acted out in front of you, or see it drawn in a cartoon. But another way to learn from a story is to embody it. The story I'm going to tell you is a story about how we got these bodies that we have. Our bodies are all different and unique in a variety of ways. We look different. We have different feelings. We can do different things with our bodies. Some of us are adventurous athletes. Some of us use a wheelchair to move around. Some of us are adventurous athletes who use a wheelchair to move around. There's a lot of variation. So during this story, I invite you to be part of the story with your body, however feels comfortable to you. Some of you may want to get up and move out into the aisles so you have some more room to move around and do the things I'm going to suggest doing. Others of you may want to sit quietly and imagine your body doing the things. And some of you may want to do some of the things and imagine some of the things. Like my back went out a couple days ago, so I am not getting down and crawling around, sorry. But Carrie might. Either way is fine. And whatever you decide to do, remember that other people's bodies are for them to decide what to do with. So keep your body to yourself unless you ask permission from somebody else to touch them, which you might want to do because there's a cuddling part. So that all sounds very serious and wise, but really this is a wild and silly story. And I am offering you a wild and silly and holy invitation to be in this story with me, in your body. So let's begin. This is our grandmother Fish. She lived a long, 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 long time ago. She could wiggle and swim fast. Can you wiggle? And she had jaws to chomp with. Can you chomp? Grandmother Fish had many kinds of grandchildren. They could wiggle and chomp. I think the chomping should be louder. Okay. Can you find Grandmother Reptile? This is Grandmother Reptile. She lived a long, 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 long time ago. She could crawl across the ground. Can you crawl? And she could breathe air in and out. Can you breathe? Grandmother Reptile had many kinds of grandchildren. They could wiggle and chomp. And they could crawl and they could breathe. Can you find your grandmother Mammal? This is our grandmother Mammal. She lived a long, long, long time ago. Her babies could squeak when they were hungry. Can you squeak? Squeak, 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 squeak. And she could cuddle with her babies. Can you cuddle? Grandmother Mammal had many kinds of grandchildren. They could wiggle and chomp and crawl and breathe and squeak, 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 and cuddle. Can you find our grandmother Ape? This is our grandmother Ape. She lived a long, long time ago. She could grab branches to climb. Can you grab?
Hey, Daisy.
And she could hoot when she was happy. Hoot! Hoot! Can you hoot? Hoot! 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 Grandmother Ape had many kinds of grandchildren. They could wiggle and chomp and crawl and breathe And squeak, 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 squeak. And cuddle. And grab. And hoot, 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 hoot. Can you find Grandmother Human? This is our Grandmother Human. She lived a long time ago. She could walk on 2 feet, and some of us can walk and some of us can roll. Can you walk or roll?
This is easy.
And she could talk and tell stories. Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter. Now, Grandmother Human had many kinds of grandchildren. They could wiggle and jump and crawl and breathe and squeak, 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 and cuddle and grab and hoot, 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 and walk and talk. Easter, good morning, everybody. And I see lots of them right here. All life on earth is related. And this is our family tree. There are many, many stories about Grandmother Human's grandchildren. No one story is the right or the best or the true or the most important story. But because this is Easter Sunday, the next story we tell will be about a grandchild of Grandmother Human who was called Jesus, who lived 2,000 years ago.